Om Namo Bhagavate Ramakrishnaya. Lessons for Life from Swami Jagdatmananji's inspiring bestseller Learn to Live, Volume 1, Chapter 2, Infinite Power Hidden Within You. In this topic, Human Divine Principle, Swami Jagdatmananji discusses that man is not a limited, helpless creature, but he is infinite, and he is one with the entire infinite existence. Man is God, and service of God in man. Service to man is service to God. Shivadnane Jiva Seva. This is discussed here. Human divine principle. Like the tiger cub in the earlier story, which believed that it was a lamb, or like the prince who believed that he was a washerman's son, human beings too, unaware of the true nature as Satchitananda, caught in their own limited view of their potential, behave like disabled, maimed beings. Even when the tiger's cub believed that it was a lamb, it was truly a tiger cub. Although in ignorance the prince thought that he was a washerman's son, he was truly a prince. Man, who appears to be human with all its associated limitations and deficiencies, is really divine in essence. We can derive the following formula on the basis of the stories we have heard. Lamb equals tiger cub. Washerman's boy is equal to prince. Deep-rooted ignorance is the only factor that turned the tiger cub into a lamb and the prince into a washerman's boy. Hypothetically, let us call the tiger cub a lamb, as he has lived among the sheep, grazed grass like a lamb, bleated like a lamb, and regarded himself a lamb. But in his essential form, wasn't he a tiger cub? What was it that vanished when he realized that he was a tiger cub? Wasn't it ignorance and the behavior resulting from this ignorance? Till Einstein revealed the principle of energy latent in every particle of matter, we took all matter at its face value and considered it as such. When we realized that appearance is not the truth, we changed our attitude about the matter. Of course, we should not forget that certain procedures have to be adopted to convert matter into energy. There is a truth which is more useful to mankind than the one discovered by Einstein, and that is a formula which points at an eternal truth. It is a formula, the truth of which can be ascertained in our life by everybody with the help of rational inquiry, experiment, and experience. It is a formula that can break open the secret of the meaning and purpose of life. It is a mysterious principle by which every individual can imbibe the courage, adventurous spirit, and self-confidence to take off from the ground level to the ethereal level of spiritual experience. Centuries ago, the prophets of the great religions of the world and great sages discovered this principle. This is not just a theory in the modern world. It can be a guiding principle from the point of practical experience that can uplift the whole of humanity. The credit of preaching this principle boldly in the modern times goes to Swami Vivekananda. His confidence, born of experience of the truth, and his zeal to preach made it accessible to all people. This was formerly in the possession of a few sannyasins and fewer householders. His equation was this: man is equal to divinity. This formula contains a greater truth than the one in the formula E is equal to mc square. In the equation, man is divinity. The variable c square is missing. The variable c square is very effective indeed, but still it is a limited number. It shows that the energy contained in a small particle of matter is many times more than its outward dimensions and features. In the other equation, we are surprised to see infinity on one side and what is normally considered to be limited on the other side. The problem arises from our ordinary view, which limits the understanding to our sensory perception alone. We ordinarily believe that man is an average creature 6 feet tall, made up of blood, flesh, muscles and nervous system, and associated with a little intelligence. The equation cited above undermines this belief that we have about the nature of man. It consequently opens up the infinite possibility for the individual to unfold the latent potentiality in him. No books, no scriptures, no science can ever imagine the glory of the self that appears as man, the most glorious God that ever was, the only God that ever existed, said Swami Vivekananda. I am he is me. I was Satyeshananda, and I was not this humdrum individual. I am always Satyeshananda, infinite knowledge, infinite existence, infinite bliss, absolute. The variable that does not appear in the equation is really infinite. And when it is realized or discovered, it solves the problem. It solves the equation. Our life is not meant merely to acquire information about the world or to satisfy our desires, but to perform our duties with the intention of realizing the truth of God and attaining perfection and fulfillment. According to this equation, the real human being is the self, the supreme self, which is infinite and encompasses the whole universe. It is Satyeshananda, which is not bound by space and time or cause and effect, but which is absolutely free. He is an inexhaustible fund of energy. To experience this truth is to attain self-realization. When Bertrand Russell said, man stands between two infinities, the infinitely small and the infinitely big, he echoed what Pascal had said. What is man in the universe? A nothing compared to the infinite, a something compared to the nothing, a middle between nothing and everything. One of them suggests a microcosm, the world of the minute particles like atoms, and the other refers to the limitless expanse of the universe. But Bertrand Russell forgot to mention one thing: the man who witnesses the infinity on both ends is himself an infinity who thinks that he is finite. Another thing is to be considered. If we mention 2 or 3 infinities, it becomes absurd. One limits the other. What is omnipresent is only one infinity. This is the truth discovered by the ancient sages of India. This feeling gives us dignity and honor. This feeling gives dignity and honor to the individual. It plays a key role in filling him with self-confidence and making the stream of infinite energy flow through him. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.